I'll be showing how to cut out the front pattern. So this is my own front pattern for the jacket. So place your pattern paper on your fabric. I folded my fabric into two. So I'll be adding ½ inch allowance by the side for joining the two pieces together. So you just watch how I'm doing that. So you can use your tape to be sure you have an accurate measurement. So just add ½ inch on the lapel side down to the overlapping side, all the way down ½ inch, then ½ inch on the other side. Then for the side front, you're going to be adding ½ inch on that part too, like that. You add ½ inch for joining. So on the edge, you're not going to be adding ½ inch because already we added our seam allowance to it. So for the back pattern, do the same thing, fold my fabric into two. So I'll be only adding ½ inch on this side for joining the two pieces together, like this, and ½ inch on the other side. So you just follow through like that. So I'll add ½ inch. I won't be adding ½ inch on this side because already we added ½ inch for joining when we were drafting the pattern. So with this, the back can be cut out. So for the collar, I'll fold my fabric into two. I'll place that point at the folded part and add ½ inch all around, like that. So see how I place my fabric? You see that? So add ½ inches all around. Make sure you place that same collar point on the folded side. So this is what I have after cutting it out. Yours should be like this. So I'll start with the joining of the front piece together. So I'll be joining from the shoulder tip down towards the base. So place the two of them together. This is the right side of the fabric, so the right side will be facing the right side. You place them together. So I iron them stay to the jacket, the front part of it. So you'll be ironing air stay to it. So you iron your air stay to it. Then I'm still going to cut out my lining the same way I cut out the fabric. Everything should be the same. Lining separate, the main fabric separate. So this is what I'm joining right now. So when you cut out your lining, you're going to be having the pieces for your lining for everything you cut for your fabric, except for this front part that has the lapel. So the front part that has the lapel, you should not cut lining for that part. What you should cut is another material that will serve as a facing. So I'm done joining this now, so I'll do the second part and join it. So this is the second part. I've ironed my stay to it already, so I used stay for mine, so you can use stay for yours too. So because I'm working with Ankara fabric, so I just decided to iron stay to everything, both the front and the back pattern for the fabric. So I'll join from the shoulder point straight down. So like I mentioned, the front piece that has the lapel on it, you are going to cut out two more pieces for that. That will serve as lapel. So I'll be showing you later what you do with that. So for now, you'll be joining from the shoulder straight down. So just watch and follow through how I'm doing mine. So I'm joining with ½ inch. Remember, we added ½ inch allowance for joining, so that is what I'll be using for joining the two pieces together. So now I'm done joining the piece together. So I've done the first part and the second. So the second part is also done. So
where him is
you open
working,
up the joining and iron it out
is owned by
back like this.
Canada,
This is what you should be
Canadian
having
company.
after
So
you've
their own
ironed it
protocol now.
out. So you do the same for the other part. So this is what we have here, two pieces for the front. So this is what I have. Make sure you iron your own to be smooth. So like that. So this is what I have. All right, so the facing now, like I said, you cut another piece of the front part that has the lapel. So I'm ironing paper, soft paper stay to it, but you could still use air stay if you want. So I iron it to it. So I'll place it like this. I'm going to sew it down from the neckline with ½ inch. So that is serving as a facing for the front. So you could see I've ironed my soft paper stay to it, but you could also use your air stay if you want to. So I'll run it down for now like that. So I'll run it down. Later on, I'm going to be losing that when I want to attach my collar. But for now, just leave it like that first. So run it down straight with maintain your half inch like that. So go ahead and run it down. So I'm notching the neckline as you see me do. You could go ahead and notch yours. So when you turn it out, remember to iron it. So go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. All right, so I'll be bringing in the lining now for the other part. You see how I placed it. So I told you the other parts will be lining. So I'm going to lay the lining like that and sew it down with half inch all the way from the shoulder. So place your lining and sew it down. So maintain the same half inch allowance and sew it down. All right, so this is what I'm having here, as you could see. So you see the lining neatly joined. So I'll do the same thing for the other side like that. So I'm repeating the same thing for the other side. I'll introduce the lining and I'll sew it down. So that's what I did for the other side. So repeat the same process for the second part. That's the lining. So lay it carefully and sew it down with half inch. Now sewing the lining to the facing, to the edge of the facing. So lay it down and sew it down with half inch all the way down, starting from the shoulder all the way down. So this is what I have. As you can see, this is the front panel of the jacket. This is what I have here. You can see the lining part and the facing. So this is what you should be having for the front pattern of your jacket, like that. So this is what you should be having. So you see how beautiful and neat it's looking. That's for the